Hello everyone, thank you very much for joining the session, and even if you are watching this video afterwards, thank you so much. I am Sandra Suranjan, I'm from Arimac, and we are really excited to have you here joining this program, the keynote speech under the topic Future as a Game Dev for the game developers community in Sri Lanka. Now, when it comes to game developers, we know you all are gamers, right? We are all alike. We are of the same kind. We are gamers, we love games, we are really passionate. And we've been playing games since our childhood. But you guys are the ones who dreamt of how these games are developed, right? And that's why you took this extra step for game development, and you still are really passionate in this subject, and that's why you guys came here for this session as well. So we are really excited to work with you as a company who has been the industry leader in game development in Sri Lanka and the first company to launch a AAA title in Sri Lanka. We still share that pride, and we will be launching another AAA title very soon, Nero, the most awaited game in Sri Lanka, as you already know. And we have similar other platforms, game platforms like IMI Games, which is doing really well out there in the industry, and we have been able to do a lot of work with IMI Games, taking many different titles to the industry market. So with that, I just want to tell you why we really want this game development community to grow and thrive in the future, because we are in the industry already, and we see what industry giants out there in the international are doing right now and what they are capable of. But in the same time, we feel the necessity, the requirement that we need a powerful gaming community in Sri Lanka, which we don't have right now, right? So that's why we really want you guys to be encouraged, to be motivated, so that you guys someday can challenge the international, challenge the industry giants, the superlatives, so that we together can grow together and share our knowledge with each other and be strong when we go to that level. So that's why we really want to help these kind of initiatives like Global Game Jam, and that's why we partner up with like-minded partners to make sure our vision is delivered, our mission is delivered. So without further ado, let's talk about the session that we are going to have today. The keynote speech is about your future as a game dev. But before going to the keynote, we did a global game jam in last year 2020. So this we wanted to do a very small recap of global game jam 2020 as well, and we have a set of participants who will be getting a certificate, which we will give you more info about in the next session. So I will introduce you the next speaker, who you already know. This person who's a representative from Sri Lanka Unity Developers, who's been running the global game jam last year as well. So he's none other than Chatu Vishwajit. So I will hand over the control over to him so that he can give you a recap of what happened last year, and then we can move on to the keynote speech. Thank you very much.
Sandro. Yeah. So it was a really good start from Sandro here. So we are going to talk about Global Game Jam happened in January this year. So let's start with how we came from to the Global Game Jam 2020. So we had our first Global Game Jam in 2019, and then we have planned to have Global Game Jam in 2020 in January. So it's a very quick organizing stuff coming on, and the coronavirus also happening at that time. The first cases have been discovered, so we had to move the event to as online event, which was done with communicating with Global Game Jam organizers, and they agreed to let us go as an online game jam. So Global Game Jam is actually about collaboration and empowering new talents and welcoming new talents to the arena. So let's move to some slides. So my agenda for this recap is actually we are going to talk about Global Game Jam 2020 and the games has been built, and let's see the behind of the Global Game Jam 2020. So this is the pandemic panic version of Global Game Jam 2020, powered by Arimac. So we had about 76 registration total, and we had sent about 40 invitations. Since we only had few spots, since we are going online, we need to cater mentorship for all the teams going on. So we had to limit the participant numbers, which we are planning to go more in future. And we had about 22 participants completed the game jam in creating really good games in 48 hours. So these are some shout out to the teams that build the games. So starting from Apasi, the team is actually Adil Imam, Asfan, Chamod, and Jihan, and Madhumi and Nizal. So these teams actually got together in the event. So they had a team at the beginning. They actually had discussion in the Discord, and they make their team, and they created this first-person shooter zombie game. And the next game is an Android game. It's called Polygons. The team consists of Kumudita, Suji, and Satika. So they created an Android game from Unity Engine. And as I heard from them, it was their first experience to this one. So this is really great. So most of the participants, they had their first game development experience from the Global Game Jam, which is actually our vision. And next we had 2D survival game called Anixer. The team consists of Prabhat and Sakuna. So they created an 2D survival game. And we got 3D casual game. It's a very long name, so I just short it out. So the team is consisted of Savidya, Venishka, and Rishu and Uvindu. So these people created an 3D casual game with some puzzles. It's about interns' dilemma about the developers, your intern life, how it's going through, and how to make passes. And we got one female solo developer called Minha. So she built a 2D puzzle game from another online game engine. So it's called Game 2020. So you can play this 2D puzzle. It's online, and it's still it's published, and you can actually try it out. So it was her first game.
What we do here is go back.
And next was actually called Pit Stop Simulator. It's a team from Badulla, and there's few other people joining from all over the Sri Lanka. So team was consist of Supun, Lasantha, Malindu, Milindu, Milinda, and Sritaran, Kodishan, Charitan, and Sanjeevan. So these people created a 2D simulation for the pit stop simulation. So all these games are actually live, and you can actually try out in Global Game Jam site. They uploaded the playable games and also the source code also there if you want to try it out. And since this was even though this was an online event, it actually started as we want to do an offline real game jam. So it was first actually Chamiraya is the one who actually, when I was seeking for sponsors, the last minute Chamiraya took the call and said, well, let's do it. So which makes it was actually possible, and Tarindu Ayya, who's actually got behind this one and handled every logistics behind this, and we try to get the physical global game jam happening, but due to the corona pandemic and the situation from the corporate people that doesn't allowing the location to be getting more people to the location, so it was very hard to get the location at that time. So it was kind of a nightmare at that time, but in the end we actually did the first online global game jam in Sri Lanka, and it was really happening global game jam. And I want to thank all the Arimac team. They actually prepared the video for welcoming the people, and there were few people actually helping out the thing. So let's go now. Okay. My slides are messed up. So we are going to hand over the certificate. It will be couriered by post. You will be mostly receiving as Christmas gifts or the New Year gifts in the following weeks. So the organizing congratulate our community. It's called Sri Lanka Unity Developers, but the game jam is not limited to Unity engine or any other engine, so it was really open. We actually help people with different backgrounds and different engines. And exclusive sponsor is actually Arimac. So they are the one who actually run every holistic on the here and help us doing the all hard work. And we got Google Developer Group Sri Lanka as our community partner. They actually helped tremendously. And we got Women Tech Makers Sri Lanka. Thanks, Michael and all the team there to helping out, spreading the word about our global game jam. And we got RSVP.lk, who's actually handling our registrations from 2019. And we got Tinker, who's actually handling all the strategy partnership when we're trying to get new locations and even running the Discord and all stuff. I want to thank everyone who actually made it possible, including all the participants who make it really success. I think now let's move to our keynote. So I'm going to invite Sukunaya to deliver our keynote. And thank you very much for the platform now from Arimac. Really nice to have this video platform.
Thanks, Chatu. First of all, let me congratulate all of you for a successful jam. And I know it's been a bit late coming in, but I think 2020 has been a year, filled with a lot of obstacles, struggle, and changes that we face on a daily basis. So it's been a year that we've struggled a lot. And I think an industry as ours has changed a lot also over the year. So first of all, congratulations on being a successful jam in 2020. And then let me get into the session. So I would like to start talking about what has been a year for us, in 2020, in terms of what the gaming industry had gone through. So a little bit of in retrospect to understand what 2020 has been for this year, and just not in Sri Lankan context, but in the global context. So I'm sure you guys have seen Last of Us Part 2 becoming the #1 game or the preferred game, winning number of awards. I would like to walk you through some of the examples, some of the case studies, just for us to have an idea of what a year it has been and how diverse these games have been. So Last of Us talks of a huge narrative, incredible storyline, brilliant voice acting, and a lot of things where you feel like you've been part of. So I'm sure some of you have already played through the entire session, would know, how cool it has been and how great kind of a storyline it is. So it's just like being in a cinematic experience and walking through with the life with Last of Us Part 2 and being, I think it's about 3 years since the first. And I'm sure we all played this. We all thought it was a piece of crap. I'm sure the game developers would have thought, hey, what kind of graphics are we talking about? This looks very kiddish, very amateurish. But still, having that in mind, you guys have seen how much of potential Among Us brought into the table. There were a lot of people out there playing this, most downloaded, and it got number of awards in the Game Awards and even with the Golden Joystick. I'm sure that you guys have seen, even though it's such a simplistic game, at the same time, it gave that resonation where the game itself could be simple in nature, but at the same time gives a lot of joy and happiness for the players. So, it's ultimately not just having the best graphics out there which actually wins the game. They have a number of downloads coming in on a daily basis, and we saw all of us just getting together and playing, wanting to know who's the imposter or who's going to be in the other side. Another game which kind of broke the shackles is for Fall Guys. Fall Guys have been there for a long time in the making. But ultimately, it's things like Takeshi's Castle that they were inspired with, the reality shows that we've seen out there. But they brought it into a game. The beauty of this game is that it gave a new dimension. It got awards on the community support, and it won awards in terms of being a family game. So giving in another dimension, say us as gamers, even though we do have developer angle to it as well, us as gamers also have seen the shelling that we've got. Whenever we go out there in the community, all what we hear is that, you guys are putting games out there. There's a lot of bloodshedding games, elements which is not definitely, giving a uprising. But Fall Guys actually showed us, you can be cute at the same time, be very competitive and give a whole new dimension to the games. I'm trying to open up minds. Okay, having said that, this is the counterpart. Call of Duty Warzone. This game had around 6 million downloads in 24 hours since it was released, and about 15 million downloads in the 4 days since its release. So online community, it's very strong, and you guys can see that there are people playing game after game and downloading game after game, especially in a competitive multiplayer instance. And going into Animal Crossing, so that's another title which is pretty much exclusive on Nintendo Switch, but again, kind of created a whole new dimension where gaming could be part of life. So if you have played Animal Crossing, you would know, or if you have seen the streams of this game, in its part of life, you just have a whole new life or a whole new world to you in the world of Animal Crossing. And yes, this year is another great avenue for us, and I'll be talking a bit more about this, the PlayStation 5 titles. So Spider-Man came, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla came. So these games kind of created another new leap and new bounce in terms of what we are creating. And to sum up, or rather coming close towards the recap or in retrospect to 2020, I don't know whether you guys have played this game, but I would totally urge you guys to play this. It's called Hades. I won the game of the year. Very minimalistic roguelike kind of a game. Which kind of wanting me to show you guys that, for instance, when you're developing games, you may feel like, look, we can't be like Ubisoft, we can't be like Microsoft, we don't have the graphic artists to support that. But ultimately, it's not just the graphics that actually gets you the game. So this game, yes, it has a lot of elements in it, but in the outset, it may not look like, one of the games like this, So it has created hype. And obviously the highlight of the year, I guess, the ups and downs of Cyberpunk. Having all that, I think this is what we all came for, and this is what you guys want to hear from me as well. So what should we be looking out for? There are so many things happening in this industry, but what we need to be is that we need to be future-proof in our development. You guys are passionate. You guys are coming into an industry which had grown, I would say, in leaps and bounds. I'm sure for some of you who may not know about the industry size, we are on 160 billion worth industry globally, okay? And it is surpassing music and blockbuster movies together. Gaming is so big in terms of a communication angle. A company like Netflix, out there, if you go out there and there were Forbes articles about Netflix, where they were asked saying, what do you think the rival should be for you? So is it Hulu, is it Amazon Prime? What they said was simple. They said, the people that we feel scared of or we feel as a threat is Fortnite. And why Fortnite? Because it's such engagement. See, gaming has this catch where you actually engage with the content. It's not like a one-way communication, which means you have touch points on a daily or number of touch points per second. So you're getting a lot of analytics on that side as well. So that's why gaming has become, and I think you guys are already in the right track and in the correct footing in terms of content or other game developers. So now coming back to what we should look out for and looking at the trends out there. Next gen console voice out there. Okay, so which means there'll be a lot of high-end requirements. So you guys would know about RTX. There are a lot of elements that consoles couldn't handle, which PCs could back in the day, had now moved into even the consoles. So console wars is happening, which means give us this opportunity, gaming as a service. See, gaming industry, I'm sure all of you guys, or most of you would have developed your own Android game or a game on your app store. And you would have unlocked microtransactions. You would have said, look, we can put in-app purchases and make it free to play. That has been the catchphrase ever since. Ever since free to play came, microtransactions had taken over the entire gaming world, where back in the day where we used to just buy the game off the shelf and we have the entire game, but not anymore. Now we need to keep purchasing stuff inside the game, and you have these big purchases, coming from certain customers. We call them whales. Comes up to like 2,000, 3,000 USD per game. So, these guys, these streamers, they don't mind spending more and more because there are people who wanting to see what it's like when you spend more. So there is a different market altogether. We believe that when we unlock microtransactions, it's just that everybody can play the game and everybody will purchase. It's not the case. You need to have content within the game so that there are so many microtransactions and they are basically, giving more insights for you to and more relevancy to why you should purchase. Having that in mind, gaming as a service is what's happening with Xbox and PlayStation. So cloud gaming is a reality. It's happening out there and people are buying these season passes. They're not buying one game all of a sudden. Now they want to buy a gaming as a service. So with 5G coming in, and luckily Sri Lanka also having somewhat of visibility to 5G thanks to two operators we have. So we will have more and more 5G penetration taking place, which means as developers, we will have streaming content available and we will have more guys who wants to buy content on this kind of a service. Game engines, well, it's kind of, there's a rise for the no-code movement. No, it's an open debate out there, not that everybody likes it. I'm sure this community doesn't like it much, but there is a rise where you get more designers to now come on board. So in terms of a game developer point of view, what I would say is, I would urge you guys to be thinking more on the design aspect and get the designs right. So that's the key challenge. You need to understand how the design is so perfect and why when you look into other games, how the designs have been so successful. Last of Us, when you're playing it, you feel like you're actually immersed into that content. You feel like you're living that story. You can hear the narration and you feel like you're walking past with them. Why is that? Because it's so strong. So you will get more competition, I would say, because the no-code movement is rising, and most of the engines are supporting this. And in an engine point of view, the Unities, the Unreals, all these guys want to make sure that you get more and more developers to come on board and make it more simpler. So whether you are in the high end of the spectrum as a coder, or whether you're in the low end trying to understand what these engines work, I would say it's an open field. As long as you get your design right, you can actually hit the ceiling and you can, penetrate across. When you're creating a game, make it streamer friendly. This is something which most of the global titles have got right on day one. They give special recognition becoming a streamer in the game. So you're creating a spectator-driven community among the game. So when you're doing a community build, when you're developing your game from scratch, you want to get your community involved. Okay, this is where I think we all can help each other out as well. This is becoming a big industry, and Sri Lanka is having a good footing in terms of us taking it to the future. And sure, the global game jam and the communities that's connecting to it could be the ideal platform for us to spin off from there. So when you're developing your games, I would say try to make it streamer friendly. It will definitely give you add-on bonus. Streamer friendly will also attach with the second thing which I want to talk about. It's being competitive. See, games have become a sport, and I'm sure some of you are already esport athletes. You guys could be playing your Dota 2s, you can be playing your Counter Strikes, but what I want to say is that, see, if you're creating your games and it has an esport element to it, and automatically connecting a tangent of esports into it, you're already creating something which is repetitive. Say in games, if you have a good replayability, which means that you're giving a surge, or you're rather giving an opportunity for people to keep on playing and be competitive. So creating games, another aspect that I think you need to clearly focus on is this part, because esports titles have been successful in the long run. If you really analyze the games out there which has an esport tangent, they have been lasting for a longer period. Even the small strategy games like something like Clash Royale, had come up in leaps and bounds, and wanting to understand that, it has rather created this entire mobile esports vertical, which is a huge uptake. Moving on, new realities, the focus of AR and VR, we feel like it came and it died. It actually didn't. We are seeing more and more headsets now getting developed. We are seeing more VR headsets getting developed. We hear a lot of rumors about AR glasses coming back into the scene. We thought that Google Lens was way ahead of its time. Probably we were not ready for it. That's why it didn't get adopted. So what we really feel about the industry is that how soon things have changed. I'll give you guys something to think about. The time period between PS1 and the PS5, how long had it been? It's not that long. So if the PS5 had become the supremacy in the PlayStation arena, and when you really look back at how the content were in PS1, you can see how much of content have actually grown from there. And we are coming to a stage where we are really looking at it, hyper-realism as, a structure that we always think of, and we feel, we can do that. And if you really look at these engines that we use these days, texturing, baking, lighting, all these features are there, which makes things or content to look so lifelike. So new realities, AR, VR, MR, all these realities will definitely come into play. So in your content creation, again, when you're creating, when you're thinking about how your design comes in, think through in terms of how you can make an impact. How can you make a resonating impact in the game so that they will carry it as part of them and, take it across. And, finally, I want to talk about this. Say, Go Mobile. This is the key. Mobile games is taking about 51% of the revenue out there of the entire global gaming industry, and it's growing. Mind you, it's growing. The industry itself is growing around 9%, 10%, and mobile games is growing around 15%, which means what? We are seeing more guys wanting mobile games, and we are seeing a lot of people still, holding on to the mobile games, or rather the mobile phones. I'll give you guys an insight. I don't know how many of you have seen this, but if you really search through on YouTube these days, there are PUBG reviews on mobile devices, which means the kids these days, they would like to have a mobile device, a good smartphone, and to play their PUBGs, because they don't want a PC to play Call of Duty. They don't mind going to the PUBG. They don't mind playing Call of Duty Mobile, which means there is more impact on creating this on mobile. So going mobile, you can definitely create a big push. By creating the push, you're making your avenues open. See, you can be creating something like a good PC game. I'm not telling you not to go ahead with. I would say keep it open. Try to see if you can go cross-platform. Games like Fortnite never stopped. They kept going. They could have stopped. They're making so much of money, but they keep going. They're creating a whole new dimension, or rather a channel, which is more like, a TV station. Now you feel like, they're not stopping. They keep ingesting more and more content into it. There are more things where you can buy. Things are not stopping that easily, which means there'll be a lot more coming in. And when you go mobile, the numbers grow. And enable cross-platform and enable Go mobile aspect. And then, as leaders in this industry, as people who's really in the forefront, you guys are really stepping it. You're creating this dimension around it, basically to make sure that there is, there are more options getting open and a lot more elements that's coming in. So it is a catch that you need to take, because there's so much out there for you to grasp, and there's so much of space out there. And I think Global Game Jam sets the foundation, right? And I'm sure Chatu and Sandra will discuss more about this and what WOMI can give, because it's not going to stop now. There's a lot more that's coming in, and we can definitely, shape the future. So I think I'm done with the keynote. I'm sure I'm happy to take any questions if you guys have. And I think we can move on to the next part of the agenda. I think over to Sandru and Chatu.
So like one of us, right? So now the most important topic here, now we have got an understanding about how does it look like in the future, and what should we be focusing on getting our game when we getting our games developed, and what's the direction, right? That's what it's all about. It's not just free roaming anymore. We need to understand where we are going and what needs to be done, and act accordingly. So the biggest topic here, I think, would be the next Global Game Jam 2021. So that's what we are here for. In addition to the keynote speech, to let you know that Global Game Jam 2021 is happening, and we are so happy to announce that we are going to be partners. Arimac is going to be a strong partner for this year as well, and we will be working very closely with the organizers to give you a wonderful opportunity, and to make sure that you join the Sri Lankan game development community and rise up as a strong community, which we can challenge the international. That's what we are looking at, right? Where we are not here to have our own fun developing mini games, very primary scale games. It's not there anymore. What we want is for you to be empowered, so that may it be a mini game, may it be a PUBG, may it be a COD Mobile, may it be something PS4, PS5 level, but whatever that is, we want you to create innovative games so that we can challenge international. That's what this is all about. This partnership is all about for us in Arimac. So as you already know, like as I said before as well, what we are looking here is, for an opportunity to create a platform so that you guys will be empowered. And through Global Game Jam 2021, if we can give you the right set of tools, if we can give you the right set of guidance, direction, so that you will create groundbreaking games for the 2021 and win the recognition out there in the global arena, that we are here to do something, to keep the that stretch mark in the universe of gaming. So that's what we are looking for. So Chatu will brief a bit of information, organizational details about Global Game Jam 2021. So Chatu, over to you.
Yeah, thanks Sanduru, and thanks Supunaya for the amazing keynote, and it's very really helpful for all the developers out here, and it's a kind of a recap of the 2020 and all the key features that you need to have in your next game is included in here. So as we back to the topic that we are going to talk about the future, so we are going to talk about what will be happening in next January. So we are going to have Global Game Jam next as a third time in 2020, and it will be happening in January 29th to till 31st of January. So it's about 48 hours again, and it will be happening online, and we are opening the registration soon, and we will be trying to get 50 participants and have really great mentors from the community in Sri Lanka, the game developers, game designers, and we try to get some few marketing guys and also some developers from overseas to help you and guide you and mentor you in the Global Game Jam. And before the Global Game Jam, also we are planning to have some events that will be helpful for you to participate in Global Game Jam and mentor you before the Global Game Jam also. And as we had partnership with Arimac is actually a very friendly game development company, and it's kind of a less hierarchy. If I say that even the Samiraya and the Supunaya and also Sanduru also is like very friendly, and so we actually get together and do this kind of as a very fun manner in even the community also. When we join it, it's not like a very corporate environment or something. We like to tend to developers and help them as we can. So as Supunaya said also, the things that it is very easy to publish a mobile game from Sri Lanka rather than finding a publisher to build a next 3D game or a PC game. So it's very easy to publish a mobile game as your first game. So I really encouraging people to publish a mobile game first if you can. And so this year also the Game Jam will be online, and we will be having our Discord channel and things set up again, and we will be helping you to create next Global Game Jam success and create more games this year. Over to you, Sanduru.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you so much, Chatu, and thank you very much for the hard work that you do. This means a lot to us as well, because I think we share the same vision and mission towards enriching a game development community in Sri Lanka, because we all understand the importance of it and why we need to be so strong as a community to make sure that we share the knowledge, we share the expertise, we share the experience, so that we can brainstorm and come together to build better games, right? And bigger and better games, which actually can challenge the industry giants, say PUBG, COD, whatever who's ruling, who's dominating the gaming industry right now. We want to get there, right? That's what we are looking at. That's what we are aiming at. So that's why, in addition to all the gaming communities that we have from Arimac's side, we thought of kick starting the our own gaming community, game dev community. So we created a very small Facebook group. If you are watching this on live, we will make sure to add the link on the chat. And if you're watching this through a pre-recorded video, we'll make sure to add the link on the caption or in the description. So through that, you can join, you can send a request. It's a private group as of now. So you can send a request, so we will accept you because we love you, right? So why is it important to join this group? Because we will be helping you out. We will be sharing our knowledge. We will be sharing content related to gaming. We will be sharing, latest news. So this will be a very enriched gaming community on Facebook. So in addition, I'm sure you guys are on a few already on a few Facebook groups already. But why is it important to join Arimac's game development community? Is that it's about having very close relationships with the industry, because we as a company are already in the industry. We are developing games. We are testing it out in the market, in the actual market. We have published AAA games. We are going to publish the next AAA game in Sri Lanka, which is Nero. I'm sure you all know about it. And we have games. We have game platforms like IMI Games, where we have multi-genre games ported, where you can have endless fun, right? So these are in a way a few set of case studies for us as well, because we keep learning every day through these products, because we understand how people play these things, how they acknowledge these games. So we have that industry expertise. So we would like to share this knowledge with you. We would like to share this experience with you. That's why we wanted to create a Facebook group. So myself is there, Supuna is there, even Chatu is there. So you guys can ask questions. You guys can share your knowledge and get them answered as well. So I invite you all to join this Facebook group, Arimac Game Developers. It's on Facebook. So this, I'm sure, will help you in being updated on Global Game Jam 2021 as well. So if you are on Sri Lanka Unity Developers group, we will Chatu will be posting updates on when we are opening the registrations and as such news as such in those groups. So we will make sure those communications are very clean and clear, so you won't miss this. So I think that's it from us. If you have any questions, you can type them out and send it to us. If you are watching a pre-recorded video, please put your questions in the comment section. So we'll make sure to reply you, respond you as quickly as possible as soon as we see them. Thank you very much again for joining us this session and or watching this video, because we really want you guys to be empowered. We want to help you. So let's go this journey together, because together we will go far. Together we will go stronger. So thank you very much, our keynote speaker again, Supun Jayasinghe, who's the head of business gaming in Arimac, and Chatu, who's representing Sri Lanka Unity Developers community. So we are looking forward to see a lot of applications, a lot of registrations, basically, exceeding the capacity of number of registrants that's allowed for Global Game Jam 2021. We would love to see you all applying, because do not miss this golden opportunity, because you only regret the opportunities that you never took, right? So do not regret in the end. Apply as soon as the registrations are open. Make sure to do that. And we are really delighted. We are really excited to help you on this journey, to see you thrive in the gaming industry in the future. Thank you so much. Chatu, anything else to add?
Yeah, that's it, all of it. And yeah, it's really a great time to have a global game jam in here, because it's kind of most of the developers are currently working from home, so they very easy to join. Even people are not even in Colombo can join the global game jam, so it's kind of a very big opportunity this time. So previously it is kind of you need to go to a physical game jam location. It's kind of a hard thing to have it in 48 hours if you're kind of married and you have to have a family matters to attend to. So this time it's very easy to attend, so I will be happy to see more of the developers who are trying to switch their career to game development, or having this kind of things to see in next Global Game Jam. And yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much again and again for being here, and for watching the video if you're watching it. So let's see. Hope to see you at Global Game Jam 2021. Thank you so much.